Dear students, today you are going to study about another ecosystem function, that is decomposition. In the last class we have studied about productivity. Productivity is the rate of formation, synthesis of organic matter, biomass. So then what is decomposition? Decomposition is defined as breakdown of complex organic matter into simpler inorganic substances by decomposers is called as decomposition. Decomposition means breakdown. Breakdown of what? It is a complex organic matter. Organic compounds are being broken down into the simpler inorganic substances, into carbon dioxide, water and nutrients are being released. By whom? It is the decomposers. Then where is this organic compounds, organic matter present? So what is the raw material required for the decomposition? For the process of decomposition, the raw material required, it is detritus. Raw material required for decomposition, it is detritus. What is meant by detritus? Dead remains of plants and animals. Dead remains of plants and animals is called detritus. Dead remains of plants as well as animals, it includes organic content, organic matter. So it includes, detritus includes fallen leaves, twigs, barks, yes, dead roots, as well as dead remains of dead bodies of the animals, as well as fecal matter. So that all constitute detritus. Detritus is being categorized into above ground detritus and below ground detritus. The detritus, which is a raw material for the process of decomposition, is being categorized into above ground detritus and below ground detritus. Above the soil, yes, we consider it as above ground detritus. Okay, above ground detritus includes all the fallen leaves, yes, twigs, flowers, yes, as well as the dead remains of the animals, fecal matter, that all constitute the above ground detritus. Below ground detritus, it is found in which horizon of the soil? It is the A horizon. It is O horizon. It is A horizon. So here in below ground detritus, it includes dead roots, as well as dead organisms, microorganisms which are found there, as well as the dead remains, or that is dead remains of the microorganisms or fecal matter or dead root. detrits. So detritus has been categorized into above ground detritus and below ground detritus. So detritus is nothing but the raw material required for the process of decomposition. Then site of decomposition. Where does decomposition takes place? Upper layer of soil. So here where does the decomposition takes place? It is in the upper layer of soil. And who is involved in converting breakdown of organic matter? It is the decomposers which are involved in the process of decomposition. They break down organic into inorganic substances. See here, productivity is a building up process. It utilizes inorganic raw materials to produce out organic substances. Food, energy is being produced. But whereas the decomposition, it is a breakdown process where the organic substances, the organic matter present in the detritus will be converted, organic substances will be converted into inorganic substances like carbon dioxide will be released, water as well as nutrients, minerals are also being released into the soil. The steps involved in the process of decomposition are fragmentation, leaching, catabolism, humification and mineralization. So, we will study one by one in detail. The first step in the process of decomposition, it is fragmentation. So you know that there are two groups of organisms, that is detrivores and decomposers. They get their food, energy from the dead and decaying matter. So fragmentation is brought about by the detritus. So they feed on the organic matter present within the detritus and brings about fragmentation. That is, they break down the large pieces of detritus into smaller pieces of detritus and increase its surface area. So the small pieces of detritus has a large surface area. So the detritus are involved in the first step, that is fragmentation. As the name itself tells, fragmentation, making into fragments. So here the large detritus will be made into smaller detritus having larger surface area, and detritus helps the decomposers for the decomposition process. So detritus like earthworms, termites are involved in this step, that is fragmentation. Leaching. Leaching is another step involved in the process of decomposition. The soluble substances which are being produced during the fragmentation that will be carried by the percolating water. Percolating water, the water that slowly moves down from one layer to another layer. So the soluble substances which are being produced during the fragmentation that will be carried by the percolating water from one layer to the another layer of the soil and get locked there. Yes, that process is called as leaching. So here what takes place? It is movement of soluble substances. Movement of soluble substances into deeper layers of soil along with percolating water. So that is called as leaching. Catabolism. So in this step we could find the decomposers. Decomposers also get their nourishment from the dead organic matter. Okay, the food is present where? In the dead remains of plants as well as animals. So these decomposers secrete the enzymes which act upon smaller pieces of detritus. So decomposer secretes the enzymes and that enzymes acts on detritus, the smaller pieces of the detritus, and brings about extracellular digestion. Okay, so not only they get the energy, but also they are involved in conversion, breakdown of complex organic substances. So, complex organic substances will be converted into the soluble organic as well as inorganic substances. So, here in the catabolism, we could find decomposers which will secrete the enzymes. So, by these enzymes, the detritus which is made up of organic matter, that will be converted into inorganic substances. Yes. So, we could find the in decomposition, in the first step, it is the detrivores which brings about fragmentation, and in the catabolism, we could find the decomposers, so that will help in the conversion of organic into inorganic substances. So, the end products of decomposition are two. One is humus and another is the minerals. The next step, it is the humification. Humification. The process of formation of humus. Process of formation of humus is called as humification. What is humus? What are the characteristic features of humus and what is the importance? Humus is partially decomposed organic matter. Humus is partially decomposed organic matter is called as humus. What are the characteristic features of humus? See here, humus is dark colored, amorphous, slightly acidic in nature. So, how is humus? What are its features? Humus is dark colored, amorphous, slightly acidic in nature and acts as reservoir of nutrients. It acts as reservoir of nutrients. What are the importance of humus? It undergoes decomposition at a very slow rate. It undergoes decomposition at a very slow rate. Yes, at very slow rate, that partially decomposed organic matter will be decomposed. And being colloidal in nature, acts as reservoir of nutrients. Acts as reservoir of nutrients, undergoes decomposition at slow rate and also acts as reservoir of nutrients. The process of formation of humus is called as humification. The process of release of minerals is called as mineralization. The process of release of minerals. Release of minerals, inorganic substances, is called as mineralization. That is, nitrates, phosphates, potassium will be released into the soil. That process is called as mineralization. So, where does the decomposition takes place? In the soil. So, by the decomposers, organic substances will be converted into inorganic substances like carbon dioxide, water as well as nutrients. Minerals are being released into the soil. These are the 5 steps which is involved in the process of decomposition, and the 2 end products of decomposition are the humus as well as minerals. Factors affecting decomposition. There are many factors by which the rate of decomposition varies from one region to another region. It is not seen in all the types of ecosystem. There are 5 factors which will affect the process of decomposition. That is, chemical nature of detritus, temperature, soil pH and aeration. The 2 important factors that will affect the decomposition, it is the temperature as well as the soil moisture. These are the major 2 important factors that will affect the decomposition. Chemical nature of detritus. When the detritus is made up of cellulose, lignin, tannins. When the detritus is made up of cellulose, lignin, tannins, then the decomposition will be taking place at slow rate. See, plants contains cellulose, yes, tannins, lignins and all. Means if detritus is made up of plant matter like twigs, barks, leaves, okay, dead roots. So if the detritus is made up of plants, so then decomposition of that such type of detritus will be at slow rate. If the detritus is made up of nitrogenous substances like carboproteins and all, okay, so then the process of decomposition will be at a faster rate. Means when the detritus is made up of animal matter, okay, so that nitrogenous substances, where we can find proteins, nucleic acids. So where is it found? It is found in the animals. So then if the detritus is mainly made up of animal, dead remains of animals, fecal matter, then the decomposition of such detritus will be at a faster rate. Okay, are you getting? So if detritus is mainly made up of animal, dead remains of animal matter, animals, it is at faster rate. If detritus is only made up of plant matter, so then it will be at a slow rate. Temperature is an important factor that will affect the decomposition. Temperature should be more than 25 degrees Celsius, then the decomposition will be at faster rate. Why? Because decomposers, that is microorganisms, bacteria and fungi will be active at that temperature more than 25 degrees. If the temperature is, when the detritus is collected in a region where the temperature it is less than 10 degrees Celsius, then we can find the process of decomposition rate will be slow. Decomposition will take place at a slow rate. Okay, so what condition is required for the process of decomposition? The temperature of any region should be more than 25 degrees. Next is soil moisture. Optimum moisture is required, it is favorable favors decomposition. If increase in water content, moisture means amount of water present within the soil, it is soil moisture. Increase or decrease in the soil moisture will affect the process of decomposition. So optimum soil moisture favors the decomposition. Soil pH, acidic soils, so in such soils the decomposition rate will be slow or it will inhibit inhibit the activity of microorganisms. So, slow rate of decomposition. When the soil is neutral or slightly alkaline, then favors decomposition. So what type of soil pH is needed for the process which favors decomposition? It might be neutral or slightly alkaline. Slightly basic pH is needed. Another important, it is aeration. Decomposition, it is an oxygen requiring process. Decomposition, it is an oxygen requiring process, aerobic process. If there is absence anaerobic condition, it will inhibit decomposition. So, for a process of decomposition, so what are important? Warm as well as moist and aerobic condition. Two important factors that which will affect decomposition. It is temperature and soil moisture. Warm and moist conditions are favorable for decomposition. Warm and moist condition. Along with that, aerobic condition. Low temperature dryness, anaerobic condition inhibits decomposition. So it might be asked for your competitive exams. So the factors which are favorable, it is warm, moist and aerobic condition which will inhibit. It is the low temperature, dryness and anaerobic condition will inhibit decomposition. So decomposition, it is the breakdown process. It is an oxygen requiring process. So where organic matter is converted into inorganic substances like carbon dioxide, water as well as nutrients by the help of decomposers.